Welcome everyone. Oh my gosh, we're so honored to be with you today. The first question that's on my mind, and I'd love to invite you to share in the chat, is when you bring your gaze inward and you get present to what it is that yoga has afforded you access to. What do you love about yoga? What has it gifted you? As succinctly as possible. Can you share that with us in the chat? And it may be Qigong. Some of you may be here and you already practice Qigong. But what is it that you've received that has made such a difference for you in your life? Oh, wow. Okay. Beautiful. Peace, calm, awareness, self-acceptance, coming back to yourself, community, tools to cope with daily life and balance, quieting of the mind. Um, it's very personal, isn't it, what we receive from the gift of the technology of yoga and from Qigong. My journey as a yogi, like many of you, has been instrumental in my own personal ability to thrive living with autoimmune. And we're here today to share with you about the missing link, what we consider Qigong as the missing link. And we're going to share with you 5 practices that we think every yoga teacher will love knowing personally, and then being able to share immediately with your yoga students. So what is it that yoga teachers want for their students? Well, we want them to have the most fulfilling experience possible, the most deeply personal and intimate experience with yoga, to have results. What are results? A great experience, feeling free, feeling a softening and an intimacy with yourself, feeling yourself as the lightness of being that you are, feeling yourself empowered. We want our students to have the promise of yoga that every teacher here has experienced for yourself. Yoga teachers also want success, right? Success, you want students to come to your classes, and you want to be able to teach in a way that is free from burnout and supports your lives. So we're just so grateful to be able to share these incredible practices with a group that just is so in love with yoga. Christopher, why don't you tell us a
Thank
little
you.
bit about great energy and introduce yourself, and then I'll do the same.
Thank you, Daniela. My name is Christopher. Daniela and I have been educators in this world for more than 10 years. We've been part of yoga teacher trainings, meditation teacher trainings, and then our current effort is in our Qigong Taoist Yoga training. And our practices that we're here to share today are the somatic side of our work. It is thought in Taoist philosophy that we're a three-centered being: body, heart, and mind. And many of us, as yoga teachers and yoga students, have entered the stream towards our own great energy through the body. And so that is where we continue to work to assist those who are looking for the healing and for everything that you listed here. I'm so touched by your list. Absolutely everything you've shared there is possible through these methods. So Danielle and I are Great Energy. That's the name of our organization. And we teach entirely online. We're located in the upstate New York area of the United States. And we're glad to be here. Thank you all for taking this time to meet us. It's really an honor.
And for me, the heart of great energy is simply this, okay? And see if you can relate to this. The quality of our lives is greatly influenced, greatly inspired, and very much determined by the quality of our energy. So the quality of our energy really determines the quality of the experience we have in our lives. So everything boils down to our energy, right? If you think back over the last month, for example, if you just step back and were to just do a little bit of a scan, what boxes would you check that describe the state or the quality of your energy? Some days it may be fair. Someday you may check mediocre. Some days you may check great, or okay-ish, room for improvement. And typically, how we experience our life is parallel to that box that we would check. So here at Great Energy, what matters so much to us is that we support our students and our community and you as well, such that you can continue to feel more vital, more alive. It is our birthright to literally feel ourselves as the great energy that we are. So to begin our webinar with you and our experience with you, let's take a moment to rub our hands together. You can bring your gaze inward. For me, that always means my eyes naturally close. It doesn't mean you have to. Let's bring our gaze inward for a moment. And let's now put our hands right on our bellies, like right around our navel, just resting gently. And together, let's breathe in deep so that we feel our bellies expanding, our hands extending outward. And exhale long, feeling your abdomen contracting, your hands moving more closer to your spine. Let's do this 3 more times. Let's breathe in deep, feel our bellies literally expanding. Exhale long. It can be with a sigh. And one more time, breathing in deep. Feel that expansion. Exhale long. So right away, we've taken a moment to move into the parasympathetic state, that state of rest and relax where we can best receive. Now, keeping our gaze inward, feel yourselves lifting, tilting your inner gaze up, and see and feel using all your senses the most magnificent golden sun. On any next inhalation, as you inhale, draw this golden white light down into your crown. And as you exhale, feel this golden white light, this column of light, fill your beautiful body. Moving down, you may feel it like it's a waterfall. Some of you may feel it like it's moving like honey, extending down to your feet, moving out your soles, connecting all the way down to the earth core. Feel yourself right now standing in this scintillating, luminous golden column of light. On the next inhalation, draw this energy back up from the earth's core, moving into your feet, up through the heart center, reconnecting with this golden sun. On the next inhalation, feel yourself taking 2 fingers of each hand, tracing a golden sphere around you. Feel yourselves as you stand in this energetic sphere that is grounded, that is clear, that is protected. Feel yourself as the embodied blessing, the love of Mother Earth and Father Sky. And now, inhale one more time from this beautiful golden sun and feel a huge sphere extending around all 172 of us. Feel ourselves in this brilliantly protected golden space. And all those who have been loving us and caring for us into being outside of this sphere, rejoicing for the opportunity for us to come together today. All those who have been caring for us, whether we knew it or not, in the seen and the unseen realm. Breathe in deep. Exhale long, giving thanks for the opportunity to be together, to practice together right now, and to connect our hearts all around this beautiful planet Earth. Over to you, Christopher.
So, how do you feel? What did you notice? What shifted with Daniela's guidance, with your exploration and experience of that 2-minute Qigong practice. Calming energy, warmth, quieting, grounding, coming home. Wonderful. Settling, softening, ease. Of all the yoga and all the meditation that you've explored in your life, could you imagine it could be so swift? Are you a little bit surprised that 2 minutes is enough? This is the instantaneous shifts that can happen when we align our three centers, the body, the breath, the heart, and then our mind, our intention. Qigong is a word that means energy practice. Qi is equivalent to prana. It's a synonym of prana. It means all of life force energy. And Gong means effort or work. And in Qigong practices, we work with everything we can to develop and cultivate our energy. We work with breath, movement, visualizations like Daniela just led, meditations. It's a parallel system to yoga. We love teaching Qigong in addition to teaching yoga because it is highly accessible. It works as a warm-up or as a cool down in our yoga classes, and it is a beautiful practice independent of the yoga that you've learned. Unlike yoga, Qigong is considered to be a healing practice. In much of our yoga world, the word healing isn't something that we use. It's not something that we talk about. However, Qigong is a branch of traditional Chinese medicine. We actively participate in our own healing process. So a Chinese doctor might prescribe Qigong exercises for somebody navigating an illness or disease. Qigong is also known as Taoist Yoga. These are another set of synonyms. Taoist Yoga, yoga from China, yoga with a philosophy of developing harmony and inner peace. The oldest known exercises in the world are called Daoyin. And the Han Dynasty in China, a scroll was discovered that had 44 colored illustrations of figures, men and women, young and old, in various standing and sitting postures. This was dated to 168 before the Common Era, BCE. So more than 2,000 years ago, Daoyin, which became Qigong, which has become Taoist Yoga, was already being practiced. Now, what Daniela and I have done, and all the schools that we've studied with, is we've brought together a contemporary form of Qigong. There are over 3,500 different styles of Qigong. Great Energy Qigong is now one of those. The exercises, the breath work, the meditations that we teach aren't things that we made up. Rather, we collected together practical exercises that are suitable for those in the West, that work for all body types, that work for all ages, that respect the state of the nervous system that students bring into practice, bring into class. Practically, much of what you would take and learn in a Qigong class could look similar to yoga. There are some stretching, there's some strengthening, there's some movements, there's poses. Some of them you'd say that's exactly like yoga. That's Warrior Two, and here it's called something different. Some of them are wildly different. Some of them you wouldn't recognize at all. However, in our Taoist Yoga and our Qigong classes, which again are the same, we're working more with flowing movements. So there's less static holds. A held posture in yoga, as you all know, builds strength and builds energy. However, if the nervous system is in that fight or flight state, or if the body is carrying tension, then the practice won't be as effective as it would otherwise be. So we work with flowing movements to open the fascial networks, to release tension, to increase the range of motion and flexibility. Qigong practices decrease the risk of injury. These are not intensive, hard practices. They can be done standing up, seated, or lying down. And they really are a tremendous complement to yoga. So what we're here to share with you today, Daniela and I, are a few different Qigong practices that are independent of classes and also some ways that you can use these right away. We've got a few things you can learn. Some of you might be teaching yoga tonight. I've been in endless yoga workshops and I'd learned something new and I'd be sharing it that night. Can any of you relate? How many of you are teaching a yoga class later today or tomorrow? So these two, you all know where I'm coming from, right? So these are amazing practices that when our graduates of our program bring them into yoga classes, they don't even call them Qigong all the time, right? They just say, here we go, let's do our yoga class. And then afterwards, people will say, what was that? Or that was different, right? Or I feel a little bit, a little more, a little less. So we're here to give you direct experience of this through this session so you really know for yourself what these are like. Back to you, Daniela.
Whoops. Just close my window. Okay. One of the things that I love about Qigong, well, first of all, as someone who lives and thrives with autoimmune, Qigong is a practice that is so accessible and it doesn't create any flares in my system or the system of my students. So it's chef's kiss to that outcome. It also is one of the most swift and efficient ways that I know to date to support nervous system regulation. It's almost instantaneous. So as a yoga teacher here, you want to be the clearest container. So the transmission, you can be a clear, brilliant conduit for the transmission of yoga to come through you in your classes. And the Qigong practices that you can experience before your class begins really bring you into your own lightness of being and your own luminosity, right? So you have this bright light that shines through you as you in a very clear and powerful way. It supports yoga teachers in grounding and settling, and so that you can be fully present in your with your students, regardless of what circumstances are arising in your beautiful lives. And our lives are complex. For students, as you know, they'll oftentimes arrive with a dysregulated nervous system. And so in our classes, we use the Qigong exercises again to shift into the parasympathetic state of rest and relax so that our students are really available. They're primed to receive the full benefit of the yoga class. Um, and in just a few moments, this never ceases to amaze me. Qigong helps ground vata type overstimulation. Our culture as a whole is vata imbalanced. And it is so grounding and it is so potent in this regard. And so the Qigong practices at the beginning of your class, they prepare both the teacher and the student to more fully receive the yoga class that you have spent time and care to very carefully and thoughtfully prepare. Um, So going into a little bit further, when and why teachers might use this for themselves. Well, Qigong is going to support your own energy, your resilience, and your clarity, right? That's a potent triad right there. With just 5 to 10 minutes of a personal practice before class, teachers are going to feel grounded and centered and really able to hold space with steadiness, but steadiness in a relaxed, present way. And every single yoga teacher that we have ever met comes to the equation as a teacher as deeply compassionate and deeply empathic and empathetic beings. Great energy, Qigong. It really supports your ability to clear your energy field so that you're ready for your class and then to clear your energy field after class is over. So if you don't have time, even on some mornings, this can happen for a full morning yoga practice, or if you feel fatigued, or you're in a flare, or you're injured, or you're getting over a flu or a COVID, Qigong fills in beautifully. And when it's practiced consistently, even just for 5 or 10 minutes a day, it honestly changes how you relate to yourself. It changes even further how you relate to others and to the world and to your experience of yourself in your life curriculum. I hold with all my heart that you are a spiritual being having a human experience here at this school of earth. And Qigong it has taken our yoga practices, our experience, our direct experience with yoga to another level. So today we're going to teach you We have two pre-class clearing practices we love. And so we're going to share with you one right now. And the second one called Shake, Howl, Laugh or Shake, Sound, Laugh is in our training, which we'll tell you about. So the first one that Christopher is going to walk you through is a very simple. Simple never means a lack of potency. It's very simple. It's a clearing practice that you can use for yourself before class, and then you can bring it and share it with your students at the beginning of your yoga class. And this supports your ability to get clear, to ground, and to get present.
So if you'd like to participate, you can come to stand. We'll do about a 2-minute exercise now. Just find a little bit of room. It's fine to do this seated as well. And if you'd like to move some energy, come to stand and start to shake your body. These practices are Taoist exercises of letting go. We're physically learning to release the stress and tension. Shake your hand, shake your shoulder, shake your hips, shake your legs. It is our conviction that the body has a powerful innate healing capacity, and we need to get out of the way. This is why we call this healing Qigong. So shake left, shake right, raise one hand, raise the other hand. 2 minutes of shaking first thing in the morning will completely change your day. Shake your shoulders up and down, open your mouth, shake your lips, shake your eyes. Circle your head around a few times. Good. With legs wide apart, start to turn to the left and to the right, tapping on your own body with your hands. So your legs are strong and steady. You're turning from the waist and the hips, and you're making a sound with firm contact. We're going to use tapping to awake our energy field, our energy systems. We're going to tap down the physical body and activate the meridians, the energy pathways that bring energy and circulate energy throughout the body. Coming back to the middle, you can make your hand into a little cup or a little fist, and we're going to start right at the sternum and tap down the inside of the arm. Go around the wrist and tap up the outside of the arm. Come across the top of the chest to the other side, tapping down the inside of the arm, around the wrist, and up the outside. Take a breath in and make a sigh or a sound as you go back to the first arm, making sure to make firm contact. You can hear the sound because you're tapping firmly. Breathing in and out through the nose with a nice quiet breath. We won't be using ujjayi breath in any of today's exercises. A simple, steady breath through the nose, deep into the body. And then you can shift, you can bring your hands down, make little fists and tap from the navel to the pubic bone, activating this potent center of chi lightly. And then with your hands in the shape of a C, you can go around behind you and tap the kidneys, reaching up as far as is comfortable. Take a breath in through the nose, make a sigh or a sound, and start to tap down the back of the legs, bending your knees as much as you need to, down the thighs, hamstrings rather, the calves to the front, to the shins, to the knees, coming on up. Knock on the hips. And again, coming to the back, reaching up, tapping down the buttocks, hamstrings, calves, ankles, shins, knees. Knock on the hips. Shake it out. And then now I'd like you to imagine that you're taking a shower and you forgot your towel. So you're going to brush yourself off. Imagine you're trying to be thoroughly get the water off your body. And you're brushing off and then shake the hand. You're releasing stale, stagnant energy. Onto the other side, brush. Brush everywhere you'd like. Brush over the arm, down your side. Take a breath in and let it out with a sigh.
Ah,
And we close with one that's called throwing away the trash. Inhale, reach the hands up in the air, come up on your tippy toes. Exhale, throw the hands to the ground and make a loud sound. Ha!
ah,
Inhale, come up, reach up, tippy toes. Exhale. Ha!
ah,
One more time. Big breath, huge sound. Ha!
ah.
Find your way to a standing position for a moment. Let your hands settle on the space below your navel. Breathing in and out through your nose, and notice what you feel. Turning within. Listen within, look within, feel within. Tune into your own energy. Relax. How do you feel, friends? Did you notice a shift or a change? What's your body like? What's your mind like? What's your breath like? Invigorated, pain relief, more energetic, energized and relaxed at the same time. Mm. With all of our hearts, friends, Danielle and I welcome you to Great Energy Healing Qigong. Simple and powerful. It's swift, it's efficient. I have a busy life, as many of you do. Daniela, anything to add? I think we'll go right into the in-class exercises, unless you have something you'd like to share before.
No, that's risky to
Uh-huh.
let the whole state of the presentation. I just love how it never, I always find myself smiling. My gaze closes naturally when I do Qigong. And I love it that because most of Qigong is standing with a slightly wider stance, my eyes love softening. And I love that I get to bring my gaze in and feel deeply into the practice without, I don't have to worry about losing my balance. And I always notice there's just this smile that happens because it's just, there's such a tingly sweetness to feeling the energy body. Yeah.
So that's a little sequence you can use with students. You can use it before class. You can use it after class. You can describe it like you did, or you can just lead it. It doesn't need a name. These experiences are beyond names. Now, as we move into class proper, we have two different warm-ups that we teach. One is called Open the Gates, and the other is called Open the Meridians. Every joint in your body that articulates is thought to be an energy gateway. So Open the Gates is a 10-minute process that moves through all the joints of the body, top to bottom or bottom to top, and liberates and frees up any kinks that are there. It's kind of like unkinking a garden hose. Have any of you ever turned the water onto the garden hose? It doesn't come out the other end, and yet you know the water's flowing, and you think the hose is kinked, right? So you might do like I do, and you do a thing like this, or you just trace it back, you find it, you unkink the garden hose, and the water flows. So Open the Gates is like that. Both of these warm-ups, Open the Gates and Open the Meridians, are like that. We're unkinking the hoses of the meridian system, these rivers of lights that course through your body, bringing vital energy and circulating vital energy throughout your body. So that we teach those in the course. I wish we had more time with all of you, but we want to honor the time that's there. So I'd love to share with you now something that you can add into a class, okay? So this is two of them. These are called flowing archer and snake crawls through the grass. So, yoga teachers, right? How many times do we do warrior two, exalted warrior, extended side angle, right? Other
Christopher,
side.
Christopher,
Yeah,
can you back up a little bit
sure.
so that we can see your feet? Just so that's, yeah, okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Daniela. Right? So you have this sequence. You've done it so many times, right? It's part of moon salutations, right? You're shifting back and forth. And generally, we're holding poses. And I know for me, with Warrior Two, my shoulders tend to get tense. So my teachers would say, oh, turn the hands up, relax the shoulders. It's a very common cue. So we're going to give you two that you can flow right into these and have some fun with your class right away. So stepping out into Warrior Two, I'll mirror you. You can turn your right foot out and you can bend and straighten the knee. So here we are, like we're warming up for the Warrior Two with that right leg. And then with the arms, we're going to bring some energetic focus. Okay, flowing archer. So we're crisscrossing the arms, and imagine as you bend the knee that you're pulling the string of a bow back. The front hand has the index finger pointed to the sky, and all the fingers and the thumb are curled in. We're focusing energy. Okay, we release, we straighten that leg, cross the arms, exhale, blow it out, pull the bowstring back, keep the elbow pointed down, gazing at the back of that hand. Release, straighten the leg, and exhale, flow into it a few more times. Breathing in and out through the nose with a quiet breath, opening across the top of the chest as you extend. You can switch to the other side. Right, so you're bending, so we're flowing. With Taoist yoga, we flow. With Qigong moves, we flow. Exploring and experiencing the circulation of energy. Now, coming back to the first side, you can turn that front foot in just a little bit. And for snake crawls in the grass, you're bending the back leg and reaching down. It's kind of like you're spreading your wings, reaching down towards that front foot. And then coming up, we do the archer, right? And then straighten, turn that front foot in just a little bit, bend the back knee, and reaching down like you're trying to reach for your foot with your hand. Coming back up, circling the arms around, switch sides, archer. And then bend the back leg as you reach down, snake crawls through the grass. All right? Something for you to share. Spreading those arms. Stepping in, stepping your feet together. Inhale, we'll collect the chi, bringing the hands up and around and down. Letting your hands move slowly through your own energy field. And relax. Daniela, anything more from you?
No, are you going to do the tiger next?
I guess we might as well, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys want to do one more? All right, and then you can describe it afterwards, yeah? Okay.
I'm with you, Peggy and Donna. Yes. And Marissa. Yes,
All right,
one more.
let's do one more. So this one is called Embrace the Tiger and Return to the Mountain. So we'll start with a high horse stance. So your feet are a little bit separated. The feet are turned out. The knees are slightly bent. And you're imagining that you're standing in this beautiful natural setting with a still moving lake in front of you and a snow-capped mountain in the distance. And it's reflected on the water. and you're relaxing your whole upper body and lightly engaging your core, pulling the pelvic floor, navel to the spine, legs are active, good strong lower triangle. As you inhale, roll the backs of the hands up in front of you. As you exhale, press the hands away. As you inhale, move the hands up and around in a big circle. And then exhale, smooth out. Still pond in front of you. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, press forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up and around, feeling your own energy field. And exhale, feel the calmness of the lake. I'll show you side view. Inhale, roll up. Your whole body is participating. There's a wave of energy and movement moving up and through your body. Breathing through your nose. Rolling up. Pressing forward. Circling the hands around. Smoothing out the surface of the lake. Do a few on your own. Even breaths in and out through the nose. Let your face relax into a gentle smile. Try making the movements a little slower, softer, and easier. See if you can find an effortless, moving meditation here. And then one more complete circle. And then step the feet in. Circle the hands around. Let your hands land on the lower dantian, your lower energy center or reservoir. Letting the breath and your intention fill this part of the body with energy. With each breath in, this area starts to glow a little brighter. And with each breath out, imagine it condenses and gets smaller. Brighter as you breathe in, smaller as you breathe out. Over to you, Daniela.
Well, can you really briefly share the fun fact about how in Qigong the breath isn't always coordinated with the movement? And I know we go into great detail about this in the training, but I always find that yoga teachers find that to be a really interesting fun fact.
Well, energy is more subtle than the breath. So the breath is thought to be a conductor of the most potent form of prana, of chi, and yet energy itself is not the breath. And so in many of our practices, in order for it to feel more meditative, Qigong can be thought of as a moving meditation. In order for it to become more meditative and less of a physical exercise, we slow the movements down so that we're moving more slowly than the breath. This gives us an opportunity to tune in to the subtle currents of energy and not be so focused on the breath moving in and out.
Mm.
And there are breathwork practices that we teach in the training as well. However, fundamentally, we're seeking to to get a felt sense of our own vital energy field, and not so much we're seeking to go deeper than the layer of the body. So synchronizing the breath and movement in the body is a wonderful entry point into the stream. And as you advance along in your study and practice, it becomes very fruitful to tune into the energy that is underneath of the breath.
And one of the things I love so much about these practices, and especially sharing Qigong practices with yoga students in yoga classes, is that, and you probably have found this to be true in your classes, that oftentimes our students think they can't meditate, or they have those sound bites, I have a monkey mind, or my mind is too all over the place. I can't stop my thoughts, so I'm not good at meditation. So when we share Qigong practices in yoga classes, like Christopher said earlier, we don't say up front, now we're going to do something different. Now we're going to do Qigong. We simply just cue the practice, and allow direct experience to be what the student receives. And time and time again, we have students that discover, oh, I can meditate, right? There are some forms of meditation are seated with a supported spine. Um, and there are plenty of moving meditations. And Qigong is we've found, one of the friendliest ways to bring students into their own embodied direct experience, that they can meditate and that it can be a somatic experience. And one of my favorite teachings is when Andrew Harvey said to the Dalai Lama, "What is the purpose of life?" And without missing a beat, and in a kind of an unusual response for His Holiness, he said, "We're here to embody the transcendent." And what I love about Qigong is that it brings you into your own experience of your beautiful, powerful grace and your magnificence. And so juxtaposed with yoga, the two together are just gorgeous. So I love Qigong because students have the experience. You can't undo direct experience, that they're like, oh my gosh, I can meditate and I don't have to be scared of meditation. And Qigong is really your bridge to embodied presence. So thank you, Christopher, for leading those.
Thank you. We're going to take questions at the end. Thank you so much. We have just about 2, 3 more minutes.
Ah,
Daniela, do you want to?
transcendent. To embody the transcendent. Yeah.
Do you want to close out and then I'll
Yes,
do the last sharing?
let's close the space, because again, if you wanted to share at the start of your yoga class that how we opened in the golden column of light and we created an energetic sphere around ourselves and then a big sphere around the class, here's how you can dissolve that at the end of class again. So we rubbing our hands together, bringing our hands to our hearts, lifting our inner gaze to greet that beautiful golden sun that is always there, okay? It's always there. Let's take a moment in our own unique ways to just feel the sensations of gratefulness flowing through our beautiful bodies. Gratefulness for all those who have cared for us in the seen and the unseen realm, whether we had a clue or not. All those who have been loving us into being, all our teachers, our friends that have cared for us along the way, who have had our best interest, have supported and uplifted us. Let's give thanks. Let's give thanks for the opportunity with this incredible organization, with Biyogi and this technology, to be connected heart to heart all around the world together. So allowing that beautiful golden sphere around all 146 of us to just in your own way start to shimmer and dissolve. Looking around this circle that we're all in, seeing the warm eyes and the kind smiles of almost all 150 of us here together. We're old friends, whether we remembered or not. Giving one another a nod and a wink all around the planet. And the light in each of us acknowledges and sees the light in each of you. And with all our hearts, we thank you for the care and the love and the devotion that you bring to yourself and to your students in your classes. Thank you for walking this path. And thank you for holding the light for the students that come to you, these beautiful spiritual beings, also having human experiences here at this school of earth. Breathing in deep, exhaling long with a sound. And maintaining that sphere around you throughout the day. Whenever you think of it, you can look up to that sun, breathe in deep, fill yourself with that golden light, exhale long, let it fill your body, and refresh your posture in that beautiful sphere around you. Over to you, Christopher.
Thank you, Daniela. Is it okay with you all if I take our last 2 minutes and tell you about this incredible opportunity that we've prepared for you at Great Energy? And then we'll do questions. Would that be all right? We have something I think you'll be curious about. So the Great Energy Qigong certification is starting now, here in January. It's an online program that is a hybrid of live talk classes and self-paced materials. So we've been teaching it for years. So we have a classroom that has our lessons in it. And then several times a week at different times across the day to accommodate all time zones, we meet for live practices. The Qigong certification with us, with Great Energy, includes a full year of access to all of the live classes and then lifetime access to the recorded materials. It is a pathway to give yoga teachers, Reiki practitioners, massage therapists, coaches, a path that they can rely on for personal well-being, for improved opportunities, and for professional growth, because we have a business development module as well. So it's designed specifically for yoga teachers, for you, to expand your toolkit with energy practices like you've experienced, to enhance meditation, to regulate the nervous system. And it's really an incredible opportunity. You won't find another Qigong course that is designed for those of us in the world of yoga that is still also honors a yoga teacher's budget. So this course 2 years ago was $1,500. And then last year we reduced it to $997. And right now it's on early bird special, $797. So it's $200 off. And we have a coupon code. We made it Be Yogi, so it would be easy to remember, that takes another $50 off. So if any of you are interested in this year-long course that can be completed in as few as 8 weeks, to have your certification, and also it qualifies for Yoga Alliance CEUs. I'm a Yoga Alliance continuing education provider. And if you'd like to take advantage of that, you'll want to use the Be Yogi code, and it'll reduce it down to $747 for the whole year, all inclusive. There is a payment plan, however, those discounts only apply to the one payment. So really, it's an incredible opportunity. It's starting now. When you register, you'll immediately start being invited into our weekly classes. You'll be invited into office hours with Daniela and I. We have 4 other contributing educators that teach office hours and classes, and a whole host of bonuses that go along with it that altogether are worth the tuition itself. It's approximately a 100-hour training. So it counts both as an add-on to a yoga teacher training, and it also is a certificate course, all on its own. So we would love to have you join us. Go ahead, Daniela.
And friends, this is sometimes what's hard to explain on the website for this program. Here's what's unique is when when yoga teachers register for this certification, you can complete the certification in as few as 8 weeks, which is amazing, right? It's dense and it goes deep, and we're available live every week to meet with you on Zoom and answer questions. In addition to that, there's no added cost. You have access to all the live trainings that we run in a calendar year, which is typically about 3 or 4. Is that right, Christopher? Would you say that's
Mm.
average?
Yeah.
So let's pretend you join the immersion that launches in February. You go through that live training with us. The next 2 or 3 trainings that we also do live, you can join again, and there's no extra cost. We found that our students who continue to take the training get to go deeper and deeper into it. So you right away can complete it and receive your certification and be sharing the practices. And it gives you a whole year of 3 or 4 trainings that you get to go through. Um, and participate in. So it's a really great value. There's not an add-on fee for repeating or revisiting as alumni.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, some people take it for their own exploration. Some students come in already knowing that they want to teach. Maybe they're an acupuncturist or Reiki practitioner, so they know they want an energy practice that they can share. Others come in for their own immersion. It's a healing course. We call it Healing Qigong because it is part of this the self-actualized healing method where we learn that we have some agency in how we navigate and how we manage the healing of the heart, the healing of the mind, and the healing of the body. We have classes daytime, evening, and weekend. So we scatter them throughout the week. They're all the same. So we have different teachers that teach, but we'll go through one set for the week during the immersion, and then we all teach the same set. So you can pick any class that works for you, morning, evening, or afternoon, or weekend, and then join us when you can. And live attendance isn't necessary. We also record absolutely everything, just like this is being recorded. So some people we see a lot in live classes, and some not so much. Hey, Shannon.
Hi, just popping in. That was a wonderful practice. Thank you so, so much. We did have a couple of questions, so I just wanted to hop into the Q&A and help assist because they were kind of far up in the chat.
Oh, great.
So we did have a question come through from Leah. Her question is, how is Qigong different from Tai Chi?
So Tai Chi is a form of Qigong. Qigong is really the ancestor of all of these energy practices. Like I explained, they discovered this scroll with these ancient exercises. So Tai Chi is a slowed down martial art that works with more complicated steps and movements. There's many sequences. We had one Tai Chi teacher actually take our Qigong training, and he said in his Tai Chi training, and his one sequence takes an hour to do. It's full of all these steps and moves, and many students take 6 months or a year before they can learn it. So Tai Chi is more complicated. Qigong are individual practices that you as teachers can put together. You can fit them together in a way you like. It's more like building blocks. Um, and so that's really a very common question. One of my teachers said that if you're swimming with your body, heart, and mind connected, you're practicing Tai Chi. If you're doing yoga with body, heart, and mind connected, you're doing Qigong. If you're doing Tai Chi with body, heart, and mind connected, you're also practicing Qigong. Qigong is the energy work inside of all of our other activities and exercises.
Awesome. We had a question from Melinda. How deep does your course go into the meridians?
So our course it's designed to help people get practicing and to teach people practices. So we have a traditional Chinese medicine module where all the different moves that we lead, we teach about 50 different practices and then some breath work and meditations. So each of the moves is broken down as far as where the meridians are and what's it affecting. However, the primary goal of this practice is to encourage you to practice and to help you learn to become a practice leader, to get people moving. We all are curious, we all want to know, and we find that the benefits of great energy Qigong are when people use it every day more than what they think about it.
but I just want to add that our educator in this immersion and training who loves traditional Chinese medicine, they have weekly office hours where you can come and go as deep as you want with them. And they have voiceovers, like Christopher shared, on the primary sets in this training, where you learn through the voiceover exactly what the movement and the motion is doing through the lens of traditional Chinese medicine and meridians. So some people love going as deep as they want, and some are less interested. So that's one of the things we love about this, is that you can find your pace and desire in that.
Awesome. We had a question from Anita. What was the last practice called? The tiger?
It's called Embrace the Tiger and Return to the Mountain. All of these names connect to a deeper energetic. So when you think of embracing the tiger, perhaps we're embracing, Daniela mentioned this common, the monkey mind, that's so throughout meditation. It's like maybe we're embracing these elements of ourselves, these active elements of ourselves. And then returning to the mountain is finding that stillness within, even when there's a more intense energy or activity in the outer world. Our practices are either, so yang and yin, right, are the two polars upon which everything in this world is moving. And we're either working with a movement of the outer body, yang, and seeking to connect to the inner stillness within, which is yin. And then towards the end of the class, we slow down and our movements get smaller gently. Eventually, the body becomes still and we become yin on the outside and turn our attention within and experience the movement, the yang of the energy that's within that because of the work that we've done over the class.
Awesome. Anita said, thank you. Loved that one. Question from Bonnie. Are there exams and or videos to record and post to pass the certification of your course?
Yes, there's one. So it's similar to since we've created yoga teacher trainings in the past, the completion is modeled similar to that. So there's 10 hours of practice teaching online or in person with others in the group, with people that you know. We pair people up in the group if you don't have somebody in your space. And then in the end, there's an open book exam that just demonstrates that you've gone through the material. And then there's a single teaching video. The classes tend to be shorter. When I first started teaching yoga, classes were 90 minutes. These Qigong classes are more like 30 to 40 minutes. So a single 30 to 40-minute video, as well as the exam, is the final certification requirements.
And we also acknowledge that many people come to trainings with a little bit of like tr education trauma and pains and like, am I falling behind? There's an exam. We care deeply that that first and foremost, your learning experience in the program is enjoyable, is relaxed, that you get to lean in with what's interesting. You get to just feel the thrill of your learning and your direct experiences. And that's why we also make available the next 3 or 4 trainings at no cost to do again, because sometimes people invest in a training and life happens. Something, you had a plan and it didn't go that way. And so you're not missing anything. You can just jump on the next live training
Yeah.
and stay in the conversation, stay in the practices, come and go as you like. So it matters to us that your learning is a really pleasant and fulfilling experience.
Awesome. And then last question before we wrap up. Christine asks, which lineage of Qigong do you teach?
Oh, wonderful. Great question. Thanks, Christine. So as I mentioned before, there are over 3,500 documented styles of Qigong. So it's a little bit of a wild experience. Some Qigong is very magical and mystical. One of my teachers, Lee Holden, taught me that Qigong has its roots in shamanistic, mystical, magical practices, that there's something very deep here that has deep roots. There are some Qigong traditions that look more like yoga, that are a little bit more of the same kind of sets and flows that we experience. There are Qigong practices that are hands-on healing. It's called external Qi healing. It's kind of like many of us are familiar with Reiki, with energy moving through us. With external chi healing, you're developing your energy and you're actually using it to support the healing of others' energy bodies in their physical body as a result of that. So the great energy Qigong is a combination of several of these. I've had four main Qigong teachers, and Daniela and I and our assistants have selected from these different lineages practices that really work for the contemporary mind, for the contemporary body. A lot of our students and student teachers are middle-aged and older. If they love yoga, that's great. And as you know, many people in your world don't love yoga so much. So we have people in aging bodies in a challenging environment. And so we've adapted we've integrated and adapted these different lineages into what we now teach. So it's a unique offering that doesn't exist anywhere else, and it doesn't contain things that we've made up. These are all practices that we were given. And I mentioned Lee Holden was one of my teachers. I've studied with White Tiger Qigong, which is a more intensive exercise, physically intensive form. In person, I studied with Grandmaster Wanming Zhang, who's a lineage holder from China. Really fun to work with because he spoke very little English, and he spoke more English than I did Mandarin. But very interesting to learn energy practices when we can't be as active and as vocal. And then and many of our practices also have come from Daisy Lee of Radiant Lotus Qigong. These are four of the teachers that I've studied a little bit more in depth with.
Awesome. Thank you,
Thank you,
Christopher.
Shannon.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's session. Just another reminder that this is recorded. The recording will be sent to you by tomorrow, along with the offer from Great Energy, the $50 off with the code BYOGI. It will include the website link, the contact email as well for any support and any questions. Christopher and Daniela will be here for you. And then I like to also end with just some positive comments from the chat. We had one from Christine. Thank you so much. This was surprisingly energizing and calming / grounding at the same time. Love that comment. And we just have like a lot of thank yous and appreciation for you guys sharing your knowledge and practice with us today. So thank you both. And thank you everyone for attending, and we hope to see you at the next BYOGI webinar session.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. It was so wonderful to get to practice with you and to be in connection and community together. So thank you with all our hearts.
See everyone later. Have a great rest of your week.